Hey, what's up, everybody? Play Price here. I'm back again at Lit Studio. I know it's been a little bit of time since I made a little bit of update after, participating in the People's Artist Competition presented by Johnny Depp. And I just kind of want to, after coming out of that, which it was a really cool experience, I just thought it'd be a good idea to talk about that experience. So that's what we're going to do. So a few months ago, I got an email. It said, you've been accepted into this nationwide artist competition called the People's Artist Competition, presented by Johnny Depp, $25,000 prize, and your work will be featured in our Forum magazine. Not only that, right, but your work will be displayed at the Art of Elysium salon in LA. And I said, man, is this for me? Is this for somebody else? But, I went ahead and I entered anyway. I like Johnny Depp. I like a lot of his movies coming up. So I said, what the hell? He's an artist. I follow what he be doing, his pop art take and whatnot. So, I said, well, let's give it a good old college try, right? But let me tell you, man, I learned a lot going through that experience. And, if you're an artist out there and you're thinking about, ever trying to get into this type of competition, I'll just go through some things I wish someone would have warned me about, at least help me to prepare for, what the experience is going to be. Because I had never been part of an art competition that was also a fundraiser, right? A charity event. So, right. So, for y'all that don't really know, right, the People's Artist Competition is a nationwide competition, right? It's presented in partnership with Johnny Depp, and everything about this competition supports a charity called the Art of Elysium. And now let me just kind of break down a little bit of that too, because that's kind of important if you really want to understand, how this whole thing started, right? So the Art of Elysium has been around since 1997, and they use creativity in a way to heal people, right? And you might have heard about, how artist therapy and stuff like that, but a lot of the work they do, right, is with vulnerable communities, all right? And they're looking to create a real social, emotional kind of bond in order to help people overcome challenges they may experience in their life. And this could be kids, this can be vulnerable adults, and even elderly folks. They've helped a very vast range of individuals get through challenges, right? So if we're using creativity for a bridge for change, for positive change, something like that, I was like, man, I think I can get behind that, right? I could definitely get behind that. And, the competition, not only is it something that helps give an artist a platform, but it's for a great cause, right? So, true to form, I was like, I'm just going to jump on in. Let's see what happens, right? And I mean, really, it was nothing for me to jump in because, I'm originally from Pittsburgh. A lot of what helped spur my artist journey was a visioning of Just Pittsburgh, which was a awesome, wonderful call to art. And I actually was lucky enough to be part of that in 2023 and its inaugural inception. And, out of that, I actually ended up winning an art competition with a piece, right? Which, we'll get into that later. And obviously you can always like, subscribe, and you can go back through some of my video archives and get some of that background story, because I like to, it was something that really changed my artist trajectory. But I'm like, man, we're going to dig all the way in. We're going to do something for a good cause. This is a good way for me to get connected to charity. Because again, in my adult years, I haven't had that many opportunities to do that. So, I said, we're just going to make it happen. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to break down for you all that are artists or, interested in how this competition even works. I'm going to break down 5 things I wish I knew before I started the competition. All right, let's go. All right, guys. So first thing, right? Votes do not equal artistic work. Okay? When you're in this type of competition, right? This is a fundraising competition, right? One thing I saw a lot of in like the Facebook group chats and all that sort of stuff, all these artists, right? A lot of them dope ass work, right? First thing they get on there complaining about, they're like, oh, yo, some people's work, oh, it's so terrible, but look, they got more votes than me. I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that. But how's this person with barely got a profile where their artwork isn't, because there's a lot of art snobs out there. Y'all gotta remember, right? Which is kind of part of the problem, in my opinion, with the art industry, is that there's a bunch of art snobs. A lot of people that don't have no artistic ability, but they create all the rules for what's acceptable in art in the mainstream. That determines if you're going to be successful monetarily, right? But I'm just going to say it, and you might not like it, but even if it has a big name and it's this type of competition, the votes are not a measure of how good you are as an artist or the actual work itself. It's more of a testament to how wide of a network you have, right? And I do know and understand, because I come from that too, a lot of this is new to me, is that a lot of artists don't build their network because they inherently are not business people, or sometimes an introvert, all this different stuff, right? So that hinders a lot of artists from having a large network in most cases, right? Now, before y'all come for me in the comments, just, relax, right? I'm not here saying this to be negative. I'm saying this because this is what I had to figure out for myself, y'all. Again, there was artists, incredible work, technical abilities, amazing. I'm still following the competition. There's a guy, Alberto Alcedo. I'm watching his work and his just place, and he's all over the place in the competition here in quarterfinals. And some of the other artists, I don't think their profiles are as impressive. But right, this is a fundraising competition. So, to be honest, you need to come to this situation really with using another skill, right? This skill would be your ability, right, to move people, to communicate, to build community around your artwork, right? That is also a skill, right? Different than painting, but nevertheless a skill, all right? So, you can go around feeling like in this type of competition that your votes are being graded, or the votes are grading your artistic ability, but that's not the case, right? It's all about your ability to get out and rally folks around your work, around you, right? Around your brand as an artist, all right? So think about it, right? Johnny Depp himself, he's an actor. A lot of what he does in his work is build a connection with people, and if you think about it, all of the arts, it doesn't matter if you're acting, dancing, doing music, doing visual arts, right? Doing photography, at the end of the day, right? It is about building a connection with the viewer. Right? You still with me? I hope so. Good, because the next one hit me a little bit harder. Right, yeah. So truth number 2 when it comes to participating in something like the People's Art Competition presented by Johnny Depp, which also is a colossal funded and colossal platformed competition, right? Again, fundraising, guys. So truth number 2. The emotional roller coaster is real, y'all. I mean, there were days when I just wake up and the first thing I did, get on my phone and just check where my standing was, right? I ain't really got up, brushed my teeth, did anything yet, but I'm like, damn, where am I at today? You know, what am I going to have to post? All this stuff, right? So, you know, like I said, the emotional roller coaster is real. And what does that say about me as an artist? You know, checking numbers, you know, like it's a bank deposit, right? You know, waiting for, you know, some stranger to tell me is my work good enough. And I knew, I mean, but knowing something and feeling something are two different things, right? So, there was days when I was up, there was days when I was ranked low, and that really hit me when we got, like, say, down to, like, the top 5, because, to be honest, I mean, to the top 20, top 10, my network was coming through for me, and they were keeping me up there in the second place, and I was coasting for a good while. I mean, people were doing, they were donating, they were voting free consistently. People were like, hey, I'm getting on the schedule, all this stuff. It was so cool, right? I would have never thought. But, to be honest, you got to understand as an artist that, even in a competition like that, man, like, these votes ain't going to make or break you. You're going to create, right? And you don't have nothing to prove, right? A lot of us have already gotten our stripes, so to speak, right? We got the notches in our belt. We've done shows. We've done these different things. I know, there was like 150,000 people nationwide in this competition. So not every artist has had that luxury or, opportunity, but a lot of us have. So, you got to look at this like you're not trying to prove anything to Johnny Depp, although it's presented by him. Best to believe he's been working on his own whole exhibition the whole time this competition is going on. He ain't checking nothing. He coming on doing the updates. They're giving him a little update on what they seeing, and he going on about business, right? He's just the face, right? But at the end of the day, even if the votes go your way or they don't, you got to come, you got to show up every day as an artist. You got to do what you got to do to promote yourself, and you got to connect and reach out to your people and help them understand the importance of what you're trying to do, which at the end of the day, y'all, it's about charity. It's about showing love through creativity, right? Giving back through creativity. At the end of the day, that's what this type of thing is about. It's not a vanity contest. It may seem like it, but it's not. It's a test of your resolve, and it is to see if you have an ability to rally the troops, right? To believe, to feel, to connect, right? That's, at the end of the day, what something like this is about. All right? So, real quick, if any of this is resonating with you fellow artists out there, right? Whether you're on your own creative journey, whether it's new, whether you big time out here in these streets like some of you are, right? And you got that wave going, you in the galleries and all that. Whether or not, if you can relate, if you participated in this competition, please hit the like, subscribe even. Go ahead and share with your friends, right? Yeah, please hook me up, y'all. And again, I would like to hear what you all think, right? Because I'm not the only 150,000 people in this competition. I don't even see that many people posting about this on YouTube. I'm not the only one, so please do get engaged with me. Competition's still going on, y'all. I'm following it. I got my pick. I don't know if my man's gonna make it, but I hope he does. Hey, yes. Now, truth number 3. So, the algorithm game. The algorithm game. And shout out to my boy, Algorithm Daniels. You know what I'm saying? He's a content creator out here. He's killing the game. Shout out to you, Anton. I just wanted to do that real quick because you definitely inspired me to try to get my motion, bro, in the art world. So I appreciate that, man. Now let's get back to it. So the algorithm game, right? So where do I start? Jesus whiz. When you're in a competition like this, I mean, trying to promote yourself, there's no way around it, right? You are going to get on Instagram, you're going to get on TikTok, YouTube, wherever, whenever, whatever you got to do. Try to get out here and promote yourself and to get them votes, right? And that means you got to play the algorithm game, right? Because believe it or not, and this is where I learned the most, because to be honest, guys, as an artist, I was like, oh man, social media, it's a drain. Instagram, you see all these people painting on their hands with the paintbrush in between their toes, and they doing all this crazy stuff. You got brothers out here spray painting whole cars. Art Atlanta, shout out to him, right? You know, our man Kenneth the Art Monster, you know, he got these crazy campaigns on Instagram. It's just so much going on, man. And sometimes, to be honest, it can be a little discouraging. So I know a lot of artists, at least myself, I was shying away from it, right? And I was just being in the shadows, but that ain't going to work for a competition like this, right? So you got to get out there, you got to get your name out there. And if you was lax, then it's going to take some work to get your algorithm game up, right? In a short period of time, because this is a week-to-week thing, right? Where they're eliminating folks. So, you know, if you already got that motion, got that wave, and you're already promoting yourself, that's great. But if you don't, then you behind the 8 ball. So, you know, at the end of the day, guys, the algorithm itself doesn't care about your art. It doesn't care if it's great. It doesn't care if you have the most technical abilities in the world. If you ain't got no motion and you ain't got no viewers, you ain't, just stuff ain't gonna hit. It ain't gonna hit and go out and amongst the stars, so to speak, right? It ain't gonna go out in the universe like the ether. It's going to be stalwarted, right? So, you know, what you do, right, really determines how your stuff is going to go throughout the algorithm. And me, you know, I had to just get on a little schedule. First off, I had to get on a morning, like midday, evening schedule. I made sure I posted on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I did not have TikTok, which I wish I did. I might have helped me a little bit. And then I started really putting some actual effort into the YouTube thing here. And that, you know, surprisingly enough, using the right tags, you know what I mean, all that sort of thing, that started to pick up. I started to get some views to the point where now the competition's over, and I'm like, man, can I keep this up, right? So, you know, just make sure, you know, that at the end of the day, for yourself, art comes first. You're going to create whether you're going to do this competition or not. So don't start getting all wishy-washy and goofy about, you know, the algorithm and all that. Just do your best to stay consistent. That's the best I can say, right? So, all right. So you guys still good? Yeah? All right. So here's where this one really got me, this next truth. This is truth number 4. All right, y'all, number 4. So truth number 4, what community really needs and why the charity matters, right? So at the end of the day, right, we have the 4th truth, community, right? And this one, you know, to be honest, it touched me, man, because I'm gonna be honest with you, artists tend to be a little bit skeptical of things. And I did not expect this type of support from my community, right? We had folks in my family, folks I grew up with, folks I went to college with, folks I went to high school with, past work colleagues from all of my work experience, right? It was just something that, you know, I mean, even people I haven't heard from years, like for instance, like my man Derek Farrell. He's a great guy. I met him in the early stages of my IT career at EDMC. And he just literally out of the blue, like, listen, I'm donating. It's cool you're connected to this. I like art. And I like to donate to charities. He was a perfect type of dream person, supporter that you would have for this type of competition. And I had a few of those, to be honest. That's why I thought I could win this thing. I ain't going front. I thought I had it in there, man. I ain't going front. Like, starting out, not really knowing what to do, you know. And to be honest, like, I had a little help from a little birdie, somebody that actually participated in a similar contest. It was actually the cutest child, or cutest baby, or whatever that Colossal does. And he reached out to me on LinkedIn, and he was like, listen, man, I've been in this experience before, and I'm developing, in a sense, a program to help people that take this that take up this challenge, right? Because this ain't no faint of heart stuff, man. This is serious. Like, people, listen, when you got to start campaigning, you got to start promoting your stuff, you got to start asking people to believe in you, not with their heart, but with their wallet. You think these people going out here getting these IPOs, you think that's easy? No, it takes years and years and years and years of blood, sweat, tears, hope, confidence, pain, sorrow to get to that point. So, you know, that's why I got a whole new appreciation for that type of thing, man, because it's not easy, you know what I mean, to get people to believe and support you, your product, your service, your brand, and actually take their resources and donate to that. It's a serious thing. Truth number 5. Would I do it all again? Yeah, why not? You know, I mean, of course. You know, it's not because of the grand prize of the $25,000. It's not because of Art Form magazine. It's not because my work's gonna be up in some salon somewhere in LA. No. Although those things are super dope, right? And I'd be grateful. I ain't gonna front. But it's more about finding out more about myself. It's more about growing, right? For me, is why I would do this again. I found out that under uncertainty, I could show up. I could watch the numbers go up and down against me, for me, whatever, but I can still wake up the next day and create. I can figure out not only how I can create visually, but how I can creatively engage folks into believing into something that I have going on, right? The audience is vast. It's Johnny Depp's audience. It's Art Form's audience. It's your audience. It's the audience of the other groups of artists that are also trying to do the same thing, right? So at the end of the day, you know, being able to look at my work, look at other people's work different than mine, and saying, you know what, at the end of the day, there's no bad art. This is bringing all of us together to communicate. At the end of the day, art is about communication. It's not a competition. It's about anytime you're in front of the canvas, anytime you're in front of your camera, anytime you're in front of anything that helps you to get your expression, your ideas out, you are connecting with folks, right? So this competition, albeit seeming like a vanity competition, it's really a competition of connection. How you can rally people behind you, but also the group of artists come together and say something as individuals, but at the same time, right? As a group. So, you know, you need to go in with your eyes open if you ever think of competing in something that is a fundraising competition that is based by or founded or started by Colossal, right? They say they like to make colossal impact. And I actually think in the way that they do. Listen, one part of this thing, right, that you'll find out is that misinformation is king, because it's 150,000 people, man. How in the hell you think they weeding these people out? They gotta cause hysteria. So you're gonna get in this thinking, oh, this is just like a regular call to art, but no, this is something different. Again, it's about your network, but it's about your resolve, right? Can you deal with the misinformation? Can you find and be led to good information? Can you take the criticism? Can you be consistent? Can you? It's a lot of a can you type of a situation, because if you don't push yourself, then the competition really doesn't exist for you. But I can tell you that it existed for me, and I'm proud to say that I came in second place in the wild card it's like the final last 2,000 people. So, I know I've been doing artwork for a long time, and I like what I do. I just do what comes, man. I don't give a shit about what people really think. I just do what comes to me. But we all got our own style, we all got our own skills, we all got our own experiences. But the thing is getting it out there. And now, better than any other time in modern history, we have the ability to do that. I remember coming up in art school and having a conversation about how you want to archive your work and put it on slides and shit, right? Early 2000s, we talking like this. It's 2026, and what is a slide? Everything is digital, right? So, listen, guys, as technology speeds ahead and catch up with some of us folks that always is like, why are we held back? This is all of our opportunities to get your art out there, to use whatever creative tools we have at our disposal. Don't be anti-AI. Go all in, man. I mean, the AI ain't going to create your artwork for you. It's still you. It's just a tool, man. It's just another brush. So, at the end of the day, that's what we're dealing with. All right, guys. Well, that was an exciting ride, and I appreciate y'all taking it with me. You know what I mean? It was a lot of work. I give big shout outs to my wife, because it was a busy time and we got a lot of stuff going on in the summer, and she had fully supported me through this, and it was a lot of work, man. I had to spend a lot of time. Like, it's only me doing this, and that's what you're going to find out, guys, is a lot of this is going to be all on you. Your art career is all on you. Right, and that's something I'm learning real time, y'all. I'm not coming to you like I'm some super professional. I'm just like y'all. We try to figure this thing out. We building the plane as we fly it. In the words of the great Kevin Samuels, for all you content creators out there. But no, for real. So, I want to hear from you guys. Have you ever been in an art competition, online, in person? I've been in a few. I've done the art battle, and if you go through some of my archives, you'll hear me talk about the art battle. And listen, man, if you're an artist, if you hear anything, go on artbattle.com, y'all. I'm going to give a free plug for that shit, because that changed my life in the artist sense. Because for the first time, you used to go to New York and see artists on the street drawing. You see some of these people online doing that stuff. Devin Rodriguez, I think he'd be drawing people on the train. Listen, when you got to try to draw something in 20 minutes or paint, not even draw, paint, man, that just, it will help you become a better artist. I swear to God it will. So check that out, right? But at the end of the day, y'all, follow the People's Art Competition. It's in the quarterfinals. It's still going on. It's kind of wild. I'm watching it. People going up and down and changing position. To be honest, it's kind of relief, because that's a real struggle to try to get to the end of that thing, right? It's nationwide. So, but at the end of the day, drop your comments. I'm gonna post this where the artists are at. You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists, like, we all out here putting a bunch of shit on Instagram, but ain't no one really talking about their art or what they think about the art world or any of that. Come on, man. I'm not the only person out here looking at this. seeing some of the injustices in it, seeing some of the inequities, and I'm talking about all the way around, not on what y'all typically think, but it's to the point now where regular artists that grew up in my time, we're looking around and we're like, where's the place for us? You know what I mean? So, art should be a place for everybody, but as inclusive as it's supposed to be, it's almost doing the reverse. So hopefully we can get a balance, y'all, somewhere in there. But I appreciate y'all walking with me. Again, share, like, subscribe, holler at your boy. I'll be clipping this up, and I'm be coming back, man. The People's Artist Competition, we closing the lid on that. And we're gonna start bringing you some other content. I'm gonna go back and listen. This is growing, y'all. It's a growing channel. We trying to do more of the creativity stuff, but I'm going to try to go back a little bit, give y'all more of the Remembrance exhibit, which is a great exhibit. I think more people really need to understand about the jazz history to come out of Pittsburgh, man. It's crazy. And although I'm in South Carolina now, I'm not gonna stop representing the PGH. I'm always going to fuck with the Steelers and all of that stuff. So, again, appreciate you guys. Share, like, and subscribe, and we'll be back at you. Art is a great way to usher in love. Remember that. And art, culture, expression, illustriously lit. Gotta plug myself. All right, y'all. Take care.